I know I've been inactive for a while. I've had a lot going on, so I've got a new job. So that's part of the reason why I've been inactive. Still trying to get used to the schedule. Like I said, I've kind of always had an overnight job, but this is like actually overnight. Um, 10 to 7 usually. So I'm trying to get used to that. That's one of the reasons. Another reason is I've been sick lately. Past 3 days I was sick. Um, I had my one of my court dates on Tuesday, which actually was my birthday. So, anyways, like I said, a lot's been going on lately, but there's a lot to talk about. So, guess I will just get into the first subject. All right. So, a lot of people have been asking me about the school shooting in Tennessee. All right. So, his parents have been arrested. They were caught around 3 a.m. this morning, just south of the Canadian border. Now, me personally, before I go any further, do I personally think that his parents should be arrested? You know, they bought the gun days before the shooting. I believe it was like 4 days before the shooting. All right. Now they know that he's had problems. All right. His teacher brought up the point that he was looking up ammunition online. The mother even said, I'm not mad at you. You just gotta learn how not to be caught. There was a picture drawing of him. Thank you, Mrs. Hancock. There was a picture of him drawing that had a stick figure with blood all over it. That he eventually crossed out, but it was still able to be seen. Now, a lot of people have asked, why has he done it? Are there the reports that he was being bullied? Again, I don't know. All that will come out when they start going to court and stuff like that. But as far as I know right now, he was just being bullied. Some people are saying he has mental health issues. Whatever the case may be. Do the parents take some fault in this? Yes, they do. All right. One, they should have their gun locked up. All right. Any parent or anybody that knows anything about guns, you don't even have to know anything about guns. All right. You have to know to keep your gun locked up, especially if you have children around you and teenagers around you. You have to have it locked up. There's been so many instances where children, ages 3, 4, 5, have taken guns and shot their parents or their siblings because it wasn't locked up. And a lot of these school shootings are due to stuff like this, alright? The kid realizes, hey, parents have a gun, he's going to take the gun and do whatever he needs to do for whatever reason, alright? And that's what happened in this case. So they do bear some responsibility. Now, they do face, I believe it's 4 involuntary manslaughter charges. And the mother did text him, don't do it. But at the end of the day, you could have took your son out of school that day. They wanted you to get him into counseling. He's had these problems. Again, he was caught looking up ammunition. And you told him do it again, but be more careful with it. Father buys a gun days before. Alright? And this is another thing. Parents need to be involved with their children's life, alright? And they can argue the fact that they didn't know he didn't have these psychological problems. They can argue the fact that they didn't know he was being bullied or whatever they bring up for him. They can argue the fact that they didn't know. But at the end of the day, it is your child. You should have had your gun locked up, and this wouldn't have been taking place. Alright? And like I said, school staff has made repeated, attempts to contact the parents, and they came in that day of the school shooting. But also, as the police have said, the school should have contacted them. See, I didn't even know. I thought that the police already knew about this and everything. But apparently, the police didn't even know anything about it. And one of the chiefs, I believe it was, came out today and said that if he would have knew about it, they could have came out there and taken the gun away. But also at the same time, I don't know how you're going to take the gun away when you didn't know there was a gun. you can't just like take away a gun that you didn't know there was no gun to. That doesn't make any sense. That's like saying you're gonna take away someone's dog, but they don't own a dog, or they just got a dog that you didn't even know about. Um, I don't know. Like I said, all I can go by is what I've heard and what I've seen. Now, in his mugshot, he does look like he has issues to say the least. Like I said, some people were saying that he's being bullied. Whatever the case may be, I don't know. But a lot of people are trying to compare this to the um, Texas school shooting with the black guy. All right, for everybody that's trying to compare it, don't. All right, y'all are just trying to compare it because it's a black guy here, a white guy here, and that's the problem in America also. All right, everybody wants to know the race automatically as soon as it comes out. Anytime there's any kind of school shooting, mass casualty event, anything, they always want to know the race and what kind of weapon was used, or if it was a gun, what kind of gun was used. None of that matters at this point. All right, what matters is getting the people safe and secure. And we can go all into all that later. That's not one of the first priorities that you need to look into. Now, as far as the people that were wounded, there were 7 people wounded, 4 people killed, unfortunately. Now, all those people that were killed were students. As far as the 7 people injured, 1 teacher was injured, and I believe the rest, 6 were all students. Now, like I said, they were arrested this morning after a very short chase. The couple was unarmed when they were taken into custody. They appeared distressed during the arrest. They are likely to face additional charges. A third person who may have assisted the couple by letting them inside the Detroit building where they were found is also being scrutinized by investigators and may face charges. Crumblies did not break into the building. They were let inside by that person. Investigators don't know the relationship between the Crumblies and the other person. Alright, so, again, they found the car, and I guess they believed they were inside that building less than a mile away from the car, and obviously they were. Now, I don't know if they're getting a bond or not. The charges are pretty serious charges, and especially facing 4 of them, and you ran away. So I seriously doubt that they will have a bond. Last I checked, Ethan Crumbley did not have a bond, which, is a good thing. But one thing that I find kind of surprising, but not that surprising, is that he gave himself up when police arrived, right? I believe he had, 18 rounds left or something like that, 18, 20 rounds left. So he gave himself up when police arrived. So either A, he's trying to make a statement by saying, he was being bullied and stuff like this, or B, he was scared to get shot. He realized that, hey, they will shoot me and kill me. And maybe he wants to live. He just wanted to show people that, hey, he's not putting up with their stuff. I don't know, alright? But I do find it strange that he had 18 bullets left and he didn't use those. Again, I don't know why, alright? Now, again, all this I'm sure will come out in court. They will try to find ways to prove that he's innocent, not innocent, or guilty, stuff like that. Same thing with his parents. They were trying to find ways to prove they're innocent, guilty, and all that. That would be a long, drawn-out case. So, one other thing is Darrell Brooks. Now, I know I've brought this up so many times, and I'm going to continue to bring it up until these other people talk about it. Mrs. Monte, yes, she did text him and tell him don't do it. The father actually called the cops once he heard about the school shooting on the news and told police that told the police that their gun's missing and they think that his son is the one who's doing it. But again, like I said, they do face some responsibility and they know that. And again, they made themselves look even worse by running away. They should have just came into court like they said they were. They said that they told their lawyer that they were coming back into town, but they actually took $4,000 out of their bank account and turned the phones off. So I don't know if they knew this person or if they just happened to run across it, or maybe they were going for Canada. Who knows where they were trying to go. But they face responsibility in this, and if anything, obviously they will get out before their son, if their son even gets out. But, they're not the only ones who face responsibility. The school faces responsibility also, because the school knew that there was problems going on. The school brought up to the parents numerous times that he needs counseling, he needs help, he has anger issues, stuff like that. So the school also faces responsibility, but they will not actually get any charges or anything. But they face that responsibility also. It's not just him. It's not just the parents. It's not even just the school. All right, it goes even further than that. This goes into students and how they treat each other, and it goes into other parents and how they bring up their kids. But I could talk about that for days. But Darrell Brooks. Alright, people are even trying to compare him to Darrell Brooks. Alright. The left is not talking about Darrell Brooks. Alright. You can look up just about any leftist person on YouTube and you will not find a video of Darrell Brooks. Alright. Now, one person in particular is the Amazing Lucas. Alright. So he makes a video about this boy, Ethan Crumley, which is fine. That's fine. Make a video about him, get the news out, and that's fine, alright? But you don't talk about Darrell Brooks at all. You talk about how bad Cal Rittenhouse is, and, how he's a murderer, and he did this, he did that. He should have never traveled towns when he didn't even travel. He lives 20 minutes away. He has family-owned businesses there, family there. Alright? Then you talk about this kid, they put a choir picture of him up. They make his picture look so innocent. Alright? That's not the point. The point is, you haven't talked about Darrell Brooks. You want to keep talking about how innocent this kid is. Alright? Everybody agrees that he's not innocent. He walked into a school and shot 11 people, killing 4 of them. Alright? The point is, you're not talking about Darrell Brooks, who ran over 60 people, killing 6. And one of those was a child that you're not talking about. So, why is it any different? He has a long rap sheet of abusing women, hitting women, punching women. He has a warrant out right now for child sex crimes. He has previous charges for child sex crimes. He ran over the child of his mother with a vehicle. He hit her. He's hit multiple women multiple times. Choked them, hit them, pushed them. Hurt them seriously. And now he runs over all these people, but you can't talk about him, alright? Now, like I said, I have no problem you talking about this kid shooting up the school. He needs to be brought up. But what you don't talk about is Darrell Brooks. And to me, that is a problem. And that is why he will continue to lose subscribers, and anybody else who is like him will continue to lose subscribers, alright? Now, I get, everybody has their own platform, whether you're conservative or left. So, obviously, you're going to lean towards stories like this. Now, me personally, I'm conservative, but I try to call out both sides. He was a conservative, right side. He claims he still is, but he's not. Yeah, that David Dorn video really, that made him lose a lot of subscribers. Him and Brandon Tatum were actually really close for a while. They were going back and forth. I believe actually Lucas actually passed Brandon Tatum for a while there. But he's not, I don't know what happened to him. I don't know if he's being paid or whatever the case may be, but he is just losing subscribers like crazy, alright? Anyways, I could talk about him for hours and hours and hours and hours. So, again, if you're gonna call out people, call out Darrell Brooks also. Just call all of them out. They all need to be called out, and they all need to be put there. All right, and I even commented on his video for a change. I even put out there, what about Darrell Brooks? And I put that under his comment. Nothing. I put it in the actual comment section. Nothing. So, to me, that is just, showing that you don't care. No, they never call out their own, but they're quick to call out the right side. But they never call out their own because that doesn't fit their narrative. One other thing is, let's see, where should we go next? Let's talk about Biden, COVID, stuff like that. So, everybody was asking Biden about, his hoarseness in his throat, his constant coughing, stuff like that. Now, Biden being Biden, he came out, said he gets tested for COVID, that all the COVID strains daily. Jen came out and said that that's a lie. He gets tested regularly, but it's not daily like he said. But again, he is gone. He don't even know what he's talking about. But if the Omicron variant is so contagious and is spreading 2 times more than the Delta variant, why was Joe Biden caught in the store with no mask on when the store said, hey, masks are in effect here? Why was he not wearing one then? Because if your administration is really like you say you are, you would think that, hey, I'm going to wear a mask everywhere I go. But that's not the case. And one other thing that somebody actually brought up to me that I never even thought about. So, when they go to the podium and speak, when they do these news conferences, all right? So, Joe Biden talks first, usually. So, he has his mask off, right? Talking into the microphone. He walks away, puts his mask back on. Dr. Fauci comes up. He takes his mask off, right? Speaks into the same microphone that Joe Biden was just speaking into. So you're telling me that this variant is spreading it's so fast and spreading 2 times as fast, but you're speaking into the same microphone that he just spoke into with no mask? So what if he had it? Or what if you had it and then you gave it to him, or he gave it to you and you gave it to him, and now y'all just spreading it all over the place? Especially with Joe Biden not wearing masks in stores, even though he wants us to. But to me, that is something that, like I said, I never even thought about. Somebody actually brought that up to me. And it makes perfect sense. And you can even argue, well, sanitize afterwards. Okay, sanitize afterwards. That ain't got nothing to do with the fact that they're both talking into it with no mask. See where I'm going? And another thing, how did this variant even get here in America, alright? So it started in Australia, right? Or Africa, excuse me. So you're telling me in 3 or 4 days it traveled all the way from Africa to California, and then it went from California to Minnesota, then it backtracked to Colorado, then it went to New York City, then it went back to New Jersey. Now it's back down in New York City with 6 cases. Alright, and now there's cases in Pennsylvania and Delaware, I believe. So I just don't understand how it works. Because I was going to keep count. Just see how long it takes them to just explode the numbers and where the numbers don't even come from. And it took them 2 days, alright? So I started keeping count yesterday, alright? And I kept counting. There were 10 cases. First in California, Colorado, Minnesota, 6 in New York City, 1 in Georgia, alright? And the latest one in Georgia was yesterday. Or this morning, however you want to look at it. Alright, there were 10. And now there's 20. So where are these other 20 cases? Or where did the other 10 come from? Because there were 10 this morning. when I left. Because y'all were alerting every single time there was a case. First one in California, now there's one in Colorado, one in Minnesota, 6 in New York. There was one in New York City. Now there's 6 in New York City. Now there's one in Georgia. Now there's like 10 more. So where did the other 10 cases come from? Because y'all were quick to alert these first 10 cases. But where's the other 10 cases at? Y'all didn't alert me to those. Like, alert me to all of them if you're going to alert to all of them. Exactly, Miss Monte. And the thing that people don't realize is people think that it's real. People think that this is actually a serious thing. All right, and don't get me wrong. You know, COVID is real. It is a virus, but again, it's a virus. All right, and like I said, plenty of times, the CDC came out today and said that it's gonna be like influenza. And it is. It's gonna be like the flu. It's gonna be here every year. It's constantly gonna be here. People are constantly gonna get COVID. People die from the flu every day. But y'all aren't pushing flu shots. Why are y'all not pushing flu shots? People would probably take the vaccine more. I'm not saying I would, but people would probably take the vaccine more if Joe Biden wasn't constantly pushing the vaccine. If it wasn't constantly on TV, if it wasn't constantly on the radio, if it constantly wasn't in paper, if it constantly wasn't on billboards, if it constantly wasn't at people's jobs, people would probably take it more. I'm sure you probably do have it in Massachusetts. I'm sure my state will be next. I'm sure South Carolina will be next. I'm sure by the next week, probably by like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, every state in America will have it. I think it's like 10 states now have it. So I'm sure it might not even take that long. It might be 2 or 3 days. And then every state will have a case of it. Now, like I said, I did switch jobs, but I'm thankful. One, that my job doesn't force the mask mandates. I don't know if it's because we work overnight or whatever the case may be, and there's not as many workers or whatever the case may be, but I'm thankful for that. Very thankful for that because I can't do the whole mask thing. Now, there are people, well, let's not even get to that yet. Let's talk about these other countries. Greece, alright? They are mandating shots for people over the age of 60. So if you are 60 and over, you are mandated to take the COVID-19 vaccine shot or face a $113 fine every month. Australia. There was a woman there who was actually, there were 2 teens, but the woman went viral for it. She was taken to a camp. Call it what you want. I'm calling it a camp. She was taken there, not by her will. She was taken there forcefully because they thought she came in contact with someone who had COVID-19. Now, that being said, after 2 weeks she was released, but you were taken there by force. You had no say-so in it whatsoever. So, to me, you have no say-so in it. That's kind of like, kidnapping. If you have no say-so in where you can go, that's kidnapping. Or you could pay a $5,000 fine. Now, I don't care where you work, alright? Just pay $5,000 like that. Now, me, I make almost $20 an hour, and I can't even hand out $5,000 like that. And especially with the way gas is and grocery prices, I just can't hand out $5,000 and be like, oh, well, it's no big deal. People have families, they have groceries, bills, gas. They have all this stuff they got to pay for. So, obviously, you just can't hand out $5,000. So, obviously, she was taken there. She was released after 2 weeks. There were also 2 teens that went there. I believe they were both females that were taken there. And they are actually still there. But, supposedly, they will be released in 2 weeks also. But again, you're taken there by force. You have no say-so in it whatsoever unless you're paying $5,000. Now, people are coming up with fake vaccine cards. There was a man in Italy who got a fake arm. He was in the medical facility. In that state there, you have to have a vaccine to work there or you can't, and he was placed on leave. So he went to get the shot. Anyways, he had a fake arm. Nurse alerted to it, and she alerted him to the cops. There was a woman in my state, actually, and I believe overseas somewhere, who actually made fake vaccine cards to say, hey, you got the shot. You know, people don't want to take it, alright? Now, I know the woman in my state is facing a lot of charges for printing these cards. And I'm talking like 30-something charges. And over half, like 17 or 19 of them are felonies. So, you know, she's looking at a lot of time just for printing out vaccine cards. That's all I'm saying. People don't want to take the shot. You're forcing people to lose jobs and all this over a virus that really is not that big of a deal in my opinion, alright? I mean, people die of the flu every year. Look at all the people that get shot. Alright, this is a perfect example. Look at Chicago. They're supposed to have one of the strictest gun laws in America, right? But yet, every single weekend, you have 40, 50, 60, 70 people shot. And most of these people are innocent people that are just getting shot, alright? So think about this. 40, 50, 60, 70 people getting shot. Most of them are innocent, alright? So let's just say 70 people get shot. 50% of them are innocent, alright? So let's put that into vaccine perspectives, alright? Someone doesn't want to get the shot. Let's just say there's 100 doctors that don't want to get the shot. But they're forced to because that's their only option. That's the only job they have right now, alright? So they're all innocent. They didn't want to get it. All 100 of them get it. Well, if 60 of them die from the vaccine or have serious complications from it, and now either they can't work because they have complications due to it, or they're having stress from it because they were forced to take it, or they died from it. So now what is their family supposed to do? How is their family supposed to eat, pay bills, have a house to live in? When you force them to take it, then they didn't want it and they were doing just fine. But you force them to take it and now they can't work or they're having complications or whatever the case may be. Same thing there. You know, so safest place with gun laws turns into the most deadliest place. Vaccine, and it's spreading again. Like, we were doing fine. Everything was getting back to normal, supposedly. But now with the vaccines, everything's just exploding again. Like, I don't get it. So the vaccine's so effective, and like Joe Biden said, I believe it was like, 68 or 78% of the world is vaccinated? Why are we having so many cases now? What is going on? Like, and all they're going to say is, well, the Omicron variant doesn't protect against, or this vaccine doesn't protect against Omicron, or children aren't vaccinated, so they're spreading it. That's all they're going to do. And they're going to play it out, play it out, play it out, play it out, play it out. And that's all they want. They want to keep playing it out until there's nothing to do no more. Like, you can only play out COVID so long before it's just old and people aren't going to listen to you no more. You can only play it out so long. Alright, so with that being said, feel like the next topic that would be appropriate to talk about is cops, the war on cops versus other people. So, most of y'all know what happened to me. If y'all don't, I will go into it real quick. So, what's today? The 3rd? The 4th? Alright, so, about a month and 2 or 3 weeks, almost 2 months ago. So, anyways, I was at the flea market. If anybody doesn't know what that is, it's pretty much, we have two here that are pretty close side by side. But anyways, one I was at, there's pretty much a big open field. There's rows, row, and then rows that way, of just tables, alright? And on this side, people can park. So, anyways, my dad wanted to sell some stuff that he didn't need, he didn't want, he didn't use no more, etc. So anyways, I told him I would help him set up the table, wash table if he had to go to the bathroom, whatever the case may be. So, he wanted a cup of ice. Well, I went one time, it was still early, it was like 8 o'clock. The place wasn't open. So I come back, I'm taking a nap. Because at that time I was still working kind of overnights, but not like I am now. But it was still late when I got off. So, with that being said, I went back another time at like 9:45, 10 o'clock. Anyways, get to the point. So I was walking, I heard sirens. Well, I didn't think nothing about it. There's always sirens going by, fire truck, ambulance, police, whatever the case may be. So, turns out they were chasing somebody. Well, I saw a van that was crashed into like a pole into a fence. So I saw a cop car behind it, and another cop car behind it. Well, it just so happens that the guy that they were chasing comes within not even 3 feet of me. He's like literally 3 feet away from me, alright? Cop goes by, alright? So I'm like, okay, whatever, it's not my problem. Now if they were to catch the guy, I was going to help. I was going to help them, because this was a big guy that was running, alright? Now, the one cop was pretty big, and the other one was average. So I was going to help them if it came to the point where this guy was going to fight. So obviously, he had a reason to run, because he's running, right? People don't just run for no reason. So, anyways, I go to get the cup of ice, right? I finally found the place. I'm walking back. Now, I am walking back to where this happened, okay? Back to where it happened. Not away, back to where it's happening, okay? So, a state trooper, he looks at me, I look at him. I keep walking. I see he's still looking at me. Out of the corner of my eye, so I turn back around. Alright? So he says, come here. So, obviously, I go to him. He puts me in handcuffs now. He don't say anything to me. He just puts me in handcuffs, and he's like, I think you're the guy. Well, obviously, I don't know what's going on. So I'm like, guy for what? What's going on, guy for what? He don't tell me anything. Alright? So, he puts me in the car. He reads me my Miranda rights, all that. He calls for another cop to identify me. This is the part that gets me now. So I was like, okay. He's gonna, identify me. That's it. It's gonna be done. So the other cop couldn't find where we were. So he drives me around to this other cop. I'm thinking I'm gonna get out the car. He's gonna be like, oh no, that's not the guy. I'm gonna go about my day. That's not what happens, right? So, before I even get out the car, this is the part. Before I even get out the car, the other trooper tells him that's the guy. Okay, so how am I the guy and I haven't get out the car yet for you to identify me? Alright. So, anyways, they switch out handcuffs, whatever. He puts me in his car. So, I'm sitting there for like 10 minutes, I'm mad, alright? So I don't even know what's going on. I don't know what this guy's running for, but they're saying I'm the guy. So, Corporal comes over, right? He's trying to tell me that, we got witnesses and all this. I'm like, okay. I got like 8 people over there that saying I just left. That can verify I just left. And it's not like, you gotta drive 100 miles to get to them. They were literally like a minute walk away, alright? My dad could have verified I just left. The people set up beside us could verify I just left. The lady here, people across, people there, people there. I even told them what the people were selling. I was like, this person here has a bike on the table, a bunch of antique stuff. This person here has a vacuum right here, a bunch of clothes on the table. They moved their car on the side of the building, which I pointed to because they could see it. I said there's an older black lady right beside him. There's a young couple right across the street, male and female. There's a older female there. And then there's a Hispanic woman with like 5 tables and another Hispanic woman with 5 tables there. What does he do? He completely ignores it. I was like, okay. And he's like, well, we got witnesses. I'm like, okay, cool. So go talk to my witnesses. He don't do that. He shuts the door in my face. Alright, so he comes back, tells me my charges. Some of them. Some of them. That's another thing. So he says, fleeing and eluding, unlawful use of a blue light, reckless driving. Alright. So after a while, he's dumping alcohol out the car in front of me, smiling. So he gets back in the car. I'm like, y'all are gonna get sued. Like, you can't just jerk random people up and say you're the guy because you can't catch the actual guy. So, anyways, I'm on the way to the jail now. He comes up with another charge. He's like, oh yeah, another charge. You have broken seal of a container in your vehicle. I'm like, bro, it's not even my vehicle. You can't sit there and just be like, oh, it's my vehicle. Alright? So then he messed up. He wrote out 2 tickets, alright? Now, he said he was chasing one guy. There was one guy they were chasing, okay? So if you were chasing one guy then, how is it the fact that you wrote out 2 tickets, okay? But on one of the tickets, you put me as the owner, him as the driver. On the other ticket, you put him as the owner, me as the driver. So if you're only chasing one guy, I can't be the driver and the owner. And he can't be the driver on one. I can't, like, that doesn't make any sense. You're making yourself look bad. Anyways, like, that is probably the most craziest thing that's happened to me. Like, out of all, and I know so many cops. This thing that really gets me, like, I know so many cops. I know probably 40 or 50 cops. And I even started naming off cops that I knew. Didn't, nothing. I'm like, bro. I even told him, I was like, I have a YouTube channel. Like, I support y'all. Like, I have a flag in my room that supports y'all. Nothing. So that leads me to believe that this cop here was dirty. Alright? This cop here was definitely, there was something going on, alright? Now, as far as the first cop that stopped me, him personally, I don't think he was doing anything wrong. I think he was actually doing his job. The second cop, though, no. And the thing is, state troopers, they weren't even chasing the guy. Alright? They were not chasing the guy to start with. The county police were chasing him. They were the ones chasing the guy. And from what I've seen, they didn't even talk to the county cops. From what I've seen, they didn't have, and I even looked through all my paperwork, there was nothing going on that says anything about the county chasing them. They took full credit for it. So, yeah, Miss Mon, this is what gives cops a bad name. So now, I got all these court dates going on, and it's like, so, like, I mean, what am I supposed to do? Like, this makes me look bad. Like, I know a lot of people in the community. I've been working with the community for a long time. I had to miss work. I had to sit in jail for 26 hours for you being stupid and just saying you wanted to find somebody. And then when we get to jail, he wants to be all nice about it. Like, no, like, he wants to put the handcuffs in the front and all this and try to talk to me. Like, no, don't talk to me now. Like, you screwed up. It's probably what it is. Like, I think me saying you're going to get sued is probably mess with him. And I am. Like, as soon as these get dropped, I am suing for everything I can get. Because cops like this don't need to be on the force. This is what people talk about when they say they're bad cops. Now, that being said, I still have a lot of respect for law enforcement. Like I said, I know a lot of cops out there. But this cop here, a couple of my friends were saying that it's racist. I don't necessarily think it was racist. It was a Hispanic guy that they were chasing. Black cop stopped me. Hispanic cop stopped this guy before I even got out of the car. But I don't think it was racist. I don't even know if they saw a guy. Like I said, it was county cops that were chasing him. Like, and the craziest thing is that, I mean, this guy literally ran out in front of me. Behind, with 2 cops chasing him. So, I don't know where they got their witnesses from, or whatever the case may be. And another thing, I asked him to see the dash cam footage. I was like, So the corporal comes over, right? I'm like, hey, can I see the dash cam footage? She was like, no. He was like, I have to review that on my own. I'm like, so you can't show me the footage. Like, you can't show me the footage, but you can review it on your own. That, to me, is a big red flag. To me, that is a problem in itself. Why can't you show me the footage? Like, I'm the one that y'all falsely arrested, so why can you not show me the footage? Like, you should have nothing to hide. And like you said, you just got there. Alright, you're the corporal. You're in charge of all these state troopers here. Alright, I'm pretty sure you're the highest one there. So you should be able to look into their cameras and pull it up for me. Or was it that your cameras were not activated? Because if your cameras were not activated, that's a problem. Ms. Monte, I don't, this is another thing that I've been trying to think. I don't even think that the troopers had body cameras on. At least I'm almost positive. Like, I'm pretty sure the first one that stopped me did not have a body camera. I want to say the second one that actually transported me had a body camera, but I don't think the first one did. But if they didn't have their cameras on, I'm going to bring that up in court too. But like, so are y'all supposed to have your cameras on at all times? Like, isn't that one of the rules and regulations that was passed in South Carolina? That you need to have your body cameras on at all times, right? Is that not one of the things? But anyways, the judge let me out on a PR bond. Judge was super cool. He even told me, he was like, I don't think that you did it. And, I honestly appreciate that judge. He could have gave me like a $3,000 bail bond, but he gave me a PR, so I do greatly appreciate him. But I do have 3 lawyers that are defending me. Somehow I got 3. I got one I was supposed to have a court date on the 2nd on my birthday, but it got pushed back, so I just met with my attorney there. So for whatever reason, it got pushed back. It's not even in January now, so I meet with my attorney again in January. Not for court, just to meet with him. I got one on the 14th of December. So again, like, I'm having to pay for someone else's mistakes. Like, I don't get it. I really don't. And the cop even told me, he was like, I'm going to let you get contacts like your phone. So I get to jail, I'm like, okay, so the corrections officer takes my phone, right? I'm like, so you said you were going to let me get contacts. Well, the corrections officer's like, oh yeah, I'll let you get contacts later on. Alright, so I'm sitting there. Well, see, I thought the state trooper had already left. I thought it was done. So I asked one corrections officer, he just completely ignores me. Alright, so state trooper comes back in now. He's handing me, this paperwork and tickets and all this. I'm like, yo, like, you said you were going to let me get my contacts out of my phone, right? So he's like, okay, whatever. And he's like, they didn't give it to you. I'm like, no. Like, obviously not. I'm sitting here asking you, telling you, like, I didn't get it. Obviously, they didn't give it to me. Anyways, so I'm sitting there, waiting. State trooper, he just walks out the door. He literally hands them whatever the paperwork they need, comes back to me, hands me the paperwork, stands there for a minute, walks out the door, with not saying anything about my contacts. I'm like, what kind of cop are you? Like, you are the worst cop I've ever met in my whole entire life. Like, I've been through Explorers, I've met cops through there, I've been on ride-alongs, I met cops through there, I met cops through jobs. Like, I have cops' personal phone numbers. And, like, you are the worst cop I've ever seen. Not only are you, like, rude as hell, and you don't know what you're doing, that's 2 big, huge things right there. But number 3, you don't even keep your word. Like, how do you expect to build up community trust? I really don't get it. Like, your whole motto is to build community trust, right? Alright, so you have one good cop that might build trust with someone, alright, but the next day you pull them over you do what you did to me, and this person gonna lose all trust and police, and boom, you're worse off than you were. Yeah, like I said, people have talked bad about troopers in South Carolina. Like I said, the county that was chasing them, I probably know half the department there, and they wouldn't even go talk to him. Like, and they were the ones chasing the guy. Highway Patrol wasn't even chasing the guy. That's the thing that really gets me. Like, I don't get it. I really don't. Like, and to this day, I am still baffled by that. Like, I should not have to go through all this. But that's fine, because when it's done and over, I am going to sue. I am. Like, there's no other way behind it. Like, there was a man in Orangeburg, black man, who was, he was an elderly man. Cops slammed him on the ground, pulled his gun on him, slammed him to the ground, and told his son to go back inside, pointing a gun at him. So anyways, the man's bleeding, he's in pain, it's an old man. He puts him in handcuffs. Other cops come up, and he's trying to cover himself, he's like, oh, well, this is what he was doing, and the other cops were like, you had your body camera on, right? Yeah, well, this is what when the other cops was like, hey, man, if you got your body camera on, it shows everything. He's like, well, this is what it is. He's like, you don't need to explain to me, your body camera's on, alright? Alright, and to top it off, alright? To top it off, right before this happened to me, alright? 3 days before this happened to me. 3 days before this happened to me, my neighbor, or my landlord, excuse me. Alright? Now, he's in his late 50s, alright? So, the way his road is, it's a very small road. It's like one car at a time type road. So, they got the houses mixed up, apparently. So, the cops come to his house instead of the house across the street, right? So, he's out there doing plumbing work. So, he has a shovel in his hand. He's walking back from around his house. There's 3 cops there with guns drawn on him. Alright? Telling him, get on the ground, get on the ground, get on the ground. So, anyways, he drops shovel, he gets on the ground. So, turns out, it was the wrong house. So, they don't issue an apology or anything. They just walk away and say, oh, we had the wrong address. Like, shouldn't you be like, oh, I'm sorry, sir, we had the wrong address. I apologize for any inconvenience. Here's our, chain of command, corporal, sergeant, however it goes. And you should address it that way. Not but, oh, we have the wrong address. We're going to head out now. Alright, and then to top it off. So, a week later, 1 week now, they go to the right house. So, he was pulling out, and he saw all of them over there. Well, he's pretty traumatized from it. So, he's pulling back in. He goes back inside his house. He opens the screen door. And he hears them talking. What do they do? Now, this is the actual person here, okay? And, they're sitting there. He's in his house now. So, you don't know what he has. You have a gun, a grenade, a bomb. This man, you know what he had. Here, you don't know what this man has. He's in his house. It's at his own element, Anyways, they hand him a piece of paper and tell him to have a nice day. Thank you for your time. So, again, the wrong person, and you treat him like crap. But the right person, oh, well, everything will be fine. Thank you for your time. Have a great day. And, if there's anything we can do to make your day better, please let us know and we will do that for you. Like, it doesn't make any sense. And again, this is why people have negative thoughts on cops. And this is why stuff will always happen. Bradley, I don't know what your message was. YouTube took it off before I could read it. So I don't know what that message was. But going to my next point, alright? Like I said, I do still have respect for the good cops out there, alright? So, this year, so far, there have been 441 officers that have died or got killed in the line of duty, alright? So, or excuse me, 442 officers killed in line of duty, alright? It hasn't updated yet. So, be 60 by gunfire once this updates. The latest one was in Texas yesterday. Like I said, this app hasn't updated. But as of right now, it's showing 59 by gunfire. That's up by 29%. So 60, it might not change. It might go up by 1% up to 30%. 56 auto-related. So, you know, car crash. Car crashes into them. They crash into a car. They run off the road. Rain causes it. Whatever case may be. Auto-related, alright? 326 other. That could be COVID-19, on duty, heart attack, on duty injury that happened, injuries sustained in the past that have now caused them to die. So, anyways, 441 officers that have been killed. Alright, and like I said, even if you take out 326 other, like I said, you have 59 by gunfire, 56 auto related. So, these people, they do have families too. You know, their mothers, brothers, husbands, sisters, wives, aunts, uncles, sons, daughters, whatever the case may be, alright? They do have families. And, you know, I respect that. And like I said, I've always respected law enforcement. But, you know, after what happened to me and what happened to my landlord, you know, I find it, you know, that maybe there are more bad cops, alright? Maybe, I don't know. It's just kind of changed my mindset a little bit, alright? And I watched Ryan Upchurch's video. I don't know if any of y'all know who he is. He has like 2.7 million followers. He's a artist. He does videos like this too also. But anyways, there's a cop stalking him for no reason in Tennessee. So, you know, I don't know. My whole mindset has kind of changed a little bit. You know, and I don't mean that in a bad way, as in like, you know, I hate all cops. Because there are still good ones out there. But, you know, if I saw a cop in the street, and I walked by him, you know, I would stop him or her, whatever case may be, shake their hand, tell them thank you for your service. And, you know, when I worked fast food, most of the time when I saw a cop, especially a new one, I would buy their food. But now, you know, I don't know, my whole mindset has kind of just changed since that's happened to me, my landlord. I saw Ryan Upchurch's video. So again, my mindset really has changed a lot, and I don't know. They say everything happens for a reason. Okay. Maybe this is a sign for me. I don't know, but my mindset has changed a lot. Like I said, I've always had family members talking about, you know, they've dealt with bad cops, or, you know, not respecting all cops. And, you know, maybe, I don't know. I'm trying to figure out what the reasoning is. And, you know, I don't know. But there's some kind of reasoning behind it. You know, but like I said, all I can do now is go to these court dates. Hope for the best. Sue when this is over. Get some money out of it. Get me an attorney. Go on about my life. And just try and put this behind me. But, again, you know, it kind of makes you nervous that, you know, this happens to you and, you know, for no reason. So, you know, if it happens one time, you know, what's to stop it from happening again, right? You know, it just kind of, that's always going to be in the back of your mind now. Yeah, Miss Monte, it really is getting harder and harder and harder. But, again, cops like this really screw it up for the ones that actually do want to make a difference in the community and want to actually help people. And like I said, the corporal wasn't, like, he didn't even listen to me. Like, he was just like, okay, whatever, shut the door in my face. Like, that's not professional, alright? If your troopers are not professional, you need to correct that. But now I see where they get it from, because you're not professional. You just treated me like, you know, whatever. He's the one. Like, you didn't even listen to my story or anything. So, you know, that to me is just troopers. Like that was just horrible on everybody's part there. All right, like I said, I was 3 minutes away at the most from the table. Y'all could have walked over there and verified these people. Like, my dad really thought I got kidnapped until I had to finally got to the jail to call him. So, like, you could have went over there, told him, at least talked to the people I was over there with me, something. He actually called 911. He thought I was being kidnapped. He called 911 because I was actually on the phone with him, you know, because the guy beside us was saying that he knew where the ice thing was. So anyways, he was trying to walk me to it. And I was telling him, like, hey, there's sirens coming by, this cop's chasing somebody. Then I hung up the phone, I got the ice to come back, boom. Well, like I said, it's been 20 minutes now, and it took me like 2 hours to get to the jail. So, he thought I got kidnapped. He actually called 911, and then he saw the troopers that were there actually responded to the table, and they told him what happened. You know, he told them my name, and they told him what happened. So, like I said, he's getting an attorney. He's suing when this is over. I'm getting an attorney and suing when it's over. Him and my mom are gonna sue, and I'm gonna sue. Like I said, you can't just do that. And then your tickets, are you stupid? Like, you say you're chasing one guy, okay? You put me as the owner on one, him as the driver. I've never purchased a vehicle in my life. Then you put him as the owner and me as the driver on the other. But you're chasing one guy. But yeah, you have two drivers. Like you're stupid. Like, did you really not think that through when you wrote the tickets? Like, if you're gonna arrest the wrong person and try to falsely accuse them, at least write your tickets right. Like, to me, that, and I don't know if my attorneys pushed the court date back. I don't know if the courts pushed it back, the cops, whatever. If the cops pushed it back, they're gonna be like, oh, wow, what do we do with the tickets? But like I said, it might have been my attorneys, so they haven't had much time to look into it. But now we're going into January, and I still don't have a court date. Like, I don't know. I don't know. To me, this whole thing is just sketchy. It really is. Me personally, what I think it is they just want to say they found a guy, and I was the first one walking by. Now, I really think that's what it was. I don't think it was a racial thing. I think that they saw me. First guy walked by, boom, well, you're the one. I really think that's what it was. But again, with everything that happened, you know, Miss Monte, see, that's another thing. I haven't even seen a judge yet. Like, I was supposed to go on the 2nd. On my birthday now, alright. So not only is it on my birthday, I was sick on my birthday, alright. So me and my attorney, me and my lawyer go up there, right? We're up there, along with a bunch of other people. There's not even a judge there. So my attorney's like, hey, you know, we'll just keep meeting back. But as of now, all the way through January, you don't have a court date, except for the one on the 14th. So, why is that? Like, I don't understand why I have court dates for some stuff, but I don't have court dates for other stuff. Like, that to me doesn't make any sense either. Now, I get some of the other charges are more serious, yeah. But I still don't understand why I have a court date for some stuff and not a court date for other stuff. I don't get it. Now again, this whole thing is like I said, the 14th is just I want to say 3 charges, I believe. Like I said, they might even just push that back. You know, I might go there, we might talk to the judge or whatever, but again, like, I don't know. I've never been through this, so I don't know how it works. But one is magistrate's court, which I guess is like, I don't know, traffic court, low end stuff. I'm not sure. Like I said, I don't know how all this works. Again, the whole thing to me is just, it's just crazy. It really is. Like, in my 23 years of life, or, well, 24 years now, I never thought I would be falsely arrested for getting a cup of ice. Like I said, that really messed with me for like a whole like 3 days. Like, I was really like, damn. And, like, when I got out, every time I saw a state trooper, I was like, I don't know, stuff like that really messes with you. Especially the amount of support that I put into law enforcement, all the stuff that I've done, and then to be treated like that. Like I said, I don't know, maybe it's a sign, maybe it's telling me something, and I just haven't figured it out yet. Like, I don't know, there's just gotta be some kind of reasoning behind what happened, and I just don't know what it is yet. I don't know if I'll ever figure it out, but there's some reasoning behind what happened. And I used to have this debate with everybody. Yeah, everybody was like, yeah, exactly, Miss Monte. It's like, I did all this for nothing, just for it to backfire in my face. And I used to have this big debate with everybody, between military and police. A lot of people are like, well, police do more than military, military does more than police. I used to go back and forth, be like, some cops do more than military, some military do more than cops. Depends on what it is. But at the end of the day, military is actually out there. They're not arresting wrong people. Alright? They're out there actually fighting terrorists. Whether they are out there in the fields or whether they are stationed here at home. Because I've had one of my brothers as actually pararescue in the Air Force. Anyways, he got hurt. So, you're jumping out of airplanes to rescue an injured person, an injured soldier. Alright, you don't know if you're going to get shot at, a bomb, it's a trap. So, you look at that, alright? And he did that, he got hurt, so he medically retired. Anyways, he went back into, he wanted to help people, so he went into law enforcement. He was SWAT on the jails, alright? Now, obviously, they face calls, they go through stuff and all that, but, when you think about it, is it really more dangerous than jumping out of an airplane to rescue a fellow soldier? No. You got all these people here with you. Do it. And that's another thing. Do cops call too much backup? Think about it. I mean, there were like I don't even know how many cops were there when what happened to me. Like, there had to be at least like 15 state troopers there. And like I said, they didn't even talk to the county that was originally chasing the guy. So, I don't know, again, I don't know how you automatically know I'm the guy when y'all weren't even the ones that originally chasing anybody. That's another thing. I don't get it. It really is hard to trust police now. Like here, Ron DeSantis proposed a new civilian military force in Florida that he would control. Again, to me, that seems like a good option. Alright? It's time for people, they need to stand up anyways, alright? People need to stand up, and they need to stand up and get with their communities together. Because at the end of the day, the police are not going to be there. Alright, when this whole COVID thing tries to take over, and they try to force vaccine mandates and all this, there will be some cops out there that, step down and come side with us. But even the military, there will be a lot of military, I believe, that will step down and come side with us. But not all of them. They're not all going to side with us. There's still going to be some there that will stay on the wrong side and try to force it on us. So, you need to get with your neighborhood. They're going to be the ones that are there with you. Alright? And if you have elderly neighbors, look after them. Make sure they're safe. Make sure they're healthy. Alright? Make sure they're okay. your friends. Make sure your friends are good. Stuff like that. Alright, so DeSantis pitched the idea Thursday as a way to further support the Florida National Guard during emergencies like hurricanes. Florida National Guard also played a vital role during the pandemic in administering COVID-19 tests and distributing vaccines. But in a nod to the growing tension between Republican states and the Biden administration over the National Guard, DeSantis also said this unit, called the Florida State Guard, would not be encumbered by the federal government. He said this force would give him the flexibility and ability needed to respond to events in our state in the most effective way possible. DeSantis is proposing bringing it back with a volunteer force of 200 civilians seeking $3.5 million from the state legislature and startup costs to train and equip them. States have the power to create defense forces separate from the National Guard, though not all of them use it. Florida moves ahead with DeSantis' plan to reestablish the civilian force. Alright, so apparently there's 23 others that other states that have done this. I didn't know that. Let's see if it says what the other states are. Alright, so joining California, Texas, and New York are some of them. So I don't know how exactly it works, but shouldn't these people be able to be called out during like stuff like, you know, riots? Shouldn't these people be called out if they're considered, you know, the National Guard of their area? Shouldn't they be called out to riots? You know, I don't know how that works. But again, I think that's a great idea. Now, obviously, he's going to get backlash from it because it's Ron DeSantis, and people don't like him. But me personally, I think it's a great idea. Exactly, Miss Monte. The good ones, they're leaving now. And I don't blame them one bit. I really don't. The good ones are leaving now, and they have every right to leave, and they should leave. You know, that is your reputation online. If you stay to leave, or if you plan to stay, you know, you're on the wrong side. So a lot of cops are leaving, and I respect that. But again, there are a lot staying also, so, you know, we'll see. It's kind of like the nurses and doctors, you know. A lot of them are leaving, but they're forced to leave because they have to take a shot or lose their job or leave. And a lot of them are choosing to leave, and, you know, again, I respect that. And, you know, this is what Biden's doing. He's really dividing people. That's what he wants, alright? They started with race. That worked somewhat, but not to the effect that they wanted it to. And now they're doing, you know, who's vaccinated and who's not vaccinated. I mean, think about it. There's so much going on with, you know, are you vaccinated? Are you not vaccinated? Oh, you're not vaccinated? Oh, you're killing people. You know, you're the worst person alive. But, you know, if you're vaccinated, you can't say anything to them because then you're like, oh, well, I'm vaccinated because this. And then, you know, if you're not vaccinated, like I said, they'll go attack you and be like, you know, you're killing people. You don't care about others. Like, no, it's just a personal choice. That's all it is. It's a personal choice. But, yeah, when you take away all the firefighters, all the EMS, all the police, and you look at the ones that have actually left so far, those are the ones that, you know, actually care about freedom. Those are the ones who actually care about people, I believe. Now, again, the ones that are still there, I'm not saying they don't. I'm sure there are ones out there in all three fields that still do. But, you know, if they're still there when they force this, then you know what side they're on. But like I said, I want to do a live stream because, like I said, I've been inactive for a while. Like I said, a lot going on. Trying to get used to this new work schedule. But like I said, I'm going to get off for now. If y'all watching this later, thank y'all for watching. For y'all that were here for the whole stream, I appreciate y'all watching. Like I said, if y'all watching this later, appreciate it. I appreciate you guys' support. And as always, y'all stay safe out there.